This Sunday marks the 25th anniversary of the passage of the Connecticut Income Tax, following the most monumental political battle our state has ever seen. The income tax was signed into law on August 22, 1991 by then independent Governor Lowell Weicker. Many people have been complaining about this ever since. Chief Political Correspondent Mark Davis is Connecticut's only TV political reporter that has covered the controversial battle from start to finish. He joins us live with more on this anniversary tonight. Good evening, Mark.
Hi, Scott. Good evening, everyone from the Hartford newsroom. 25 years ago, the state of Connecticut was in serious financial difficulty, much like we've been experiencing lately. And then Governor Weicker cut spending to the same types of loud cries and complaints we have been hearing lately. But he also did something that no other governor had successfully done before.
Axe the tax! Axe the tax!
25 years ago this October, the largest protest rally in state history brought more than 50,000 angry Connecticut residents to the state capitol. They were protesting what had occurred 25 years ago this week. The man responsible for all the anger also showed up to the loudest chorus of boos ever heard at the Capitol. After campaigning against an income tax, independent Governor Lowell Weicker had signed one into law after a marathon summer-long special session of the legislature. And he did it with Republican and Democratic votes in both the state Senate and the House by a brilliant compromise. Lower-income people would not pay the tax, and the 8% sales tax would be cut to 6%. The wealthy got a huge tax cut by the elimination of the dividends and interest tax that was then as high as 11%. It was signed into law by Weicker in a ceremony on August 22nd. The tax started coming out of payroll checks in October and has never stopped.
After I became governor and we enacted the income tax, the state was in the black.
Weicker now says the balanced books he left behind have all been squandered.
All of those who cursed me, including the representatives, John Rowland, everybody, went ahead and spent all the money.
And Weicker blames the current legislative leadership for extending the spending spree, resulting in the current financial difficulties.
When Dan Malloy became governor, they kept on spending, and then they were right back in the red, which is where we were back in 1990.
So doesn't that mean that Governor Malloy, who has approved 2 adjustments to the income tax to balance the books, is part of the problem?
Well, I don't very much just blame Dan Malloy, not at all. I think the legislature, its leadership, and the people of Connecticut can shoulder a great deal of the blame.
Here's what Governor Malloy says about the income tax on this anniversary.
We would not be able to support the level of services, particularly in the arena of things like transportation, without an appropriate tax system.
You might say that modern Tea Party activism began here in Connecticut 25 years ago this summer. But the public that has the taste for expanding government spending always seems to have more votes. Lowell Weicker voluntarily left office in 1994. Many said he could have never been re-elected. Republican John Rowland ran and won on a promise to repeal the state income tax. He spent 10 years in office and never did. Live from the Hartford newsroom, Mark Davis, News 8.